Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rabya and welcome to video number 41 for me. I have been a little MIA, so sorry about that, but I have a whole bunch of videos lined up for you guys, so thank you so much for tuning in today and watching today's video. Today's video is going to be a first impressions of the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation. I got mine in the shade 340C and I picked it up at Ulta. This foundation will be available in Ulta, Namie's, and is currently available on Anastasia Beverly Hills online, and I think in the upcoming weeks it will be available at Sephora as well. And yeah, so today I created this whole look. I tried to use as many Anastasia products as I had, and besides the foundation, I also did pick up her new setting powder, so we're also going to be using this in today's video. And yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoy this video and find it helpful. I have been a little bit overwhelmed with how many foundations have been releasing. I mean, in makeup in general is releasing so quickly, but I just got in the Dose of Colors foundation. I was going to review that, and the day I got that, I went to pick up the Anastasia one, and Urban Decay has a new one, and Milk Makeup just like announced a release. Like, there's been a lot of foundation releases, so if there is a foundation you would like me to review and see if it is brown girl friendly, leave it in the comments down below and I will ensure to buy it and review it and let you know my thoughts on it. But if you would like to see how to get this look and what I think of the new Anastasia products, just keep on watching. Okay, so we are starting off this video really close just so you can see how the foundation applies and everything. I am working with a lot of acne and like marks on my face right now, and so we're gonna see how well this foundation covers everything. And I have already done all of my skincare, so toned, moisturized, everything. And so what I'm going to start with is a primer, because it is a little bit more of a glowy, luminous foundation. I didn't want to do something that would cover my pores, and I am going to be using the Touch in Sol No Problem Prime Essence. And I'm just going to use this so that I can cancel out any issues in my pores. I got this in a BoxyCharm, so I'm really excited to use it. Okay, and while that settles into my skin, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia brow powder in the shade Ebony and fill in my brows with an Anastasia brush. So now we're going to get into the exciting part, the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation. I did pick this up in the shade 340C, so this is what the actual bottle looks like. It's beautiful and it has a nice pump on it, and I feel like it looks really luxurious. It almost looks pretty comparable to like my NARS foundation. Like, yeah, they're very similar. And I'm really excited. I did pick this up at Ulta. This did go on sale on August 4th, and it is available in stores at Ulta. And it was nice because it had a really beautiful big display that showed, I believe, all 42 colors. I might be wrong about that, but there's a really large color range, and not just shade wise, there's also beautiful undertones. So I did pick up a foundation that had an olive undertone, and the girl at Ulta did stop me and tell me, hey, like, you might want to go a shade lighter, because I mean, I feel like this is not that bad of a match, but she did say that this foundation does oxidize a little bit, so just be a little bit mindful of that. And with that, I'm gonna start with my first application. So I'm just gonna take 2 pumps of the foundation. Actually turned into 3. It's not very runny, but it's not as like thick as other foundations I've been using. So the foundation did release with a brush, so that's why I'm going to apply it using a brush. This is not the brush that it came with. This is actually the Morphe M439. This is also like a foundation like kabuki brush. I'm just going to work that into the foundation and start just like pressing it into my skin. It doesn't have like, I don't think it's like fragrance, but it does have like a scent of just like makeup, I guess, like pigment. So that's what the finish is looking like. I feel like it's a pretty decent match. Again, like, my skin on my face is a little bit darker and red right now compared to like the rest of my body, but I feel like it's blending into my neck really well. I'm gonna go in with the second layer of the foundation, so I'm just gonna take a few more pumps. Like I have a lot of pigmentation happening right here. So I'm trying to see if I can do that up with just the foundation. But it is a really nice finish. It doesn't look like I'm wearing much makeup. Like I feel like it blended into the skin really nicely, and it is luminous. So I feel, but I feel like it's like the healthy kind of luminous. So it's not like dewy, but it's like, I feel like it translates like really moisturized skin, which I like. I am a little bit worried just because I have oily skin, and right now, like during the summer, it is a little bit more sweaty. So I don't know how it's gonna wear, but in terms of like finishes, like for a luminous foundation, it's pretty nice. I feel like it looks like skin, and I really like it. And I think because it's like luminous, it's not settling into like the parts of my skin that are a little bit more like bumpy right now because of like the acne. But it for sure isn't covering everything I would like it to. But I do like that it's not super full coverage. So to conceal, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle Concealer, and I use this in the shade Sand. And I'm going to use this everywhere that I like to conceal, so underneath of my eyes, down the center of my face. Okay, so, and I've said this like a few times with this concealer in specific, that you do want to give it a little bit of a chance to like dry up and get a little tacky so that you can maintain most of the coverage from the concealer. So while that's sitting on my skin, I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Match Stick in the shade Mocha. And I'm going to use this to just do a light cream contour around the parameters of my face. I'm actually going to blend out the cream contour before the concealer as well, and I'm just going to go in with this crown brush and just lightly start working that contour up. And then I'm going to go back into that beauty blender and blend out the under eye concealer and just down the center of my face. I like to do this more so in more precise pushing motions because I don't want this to like go out too far, so I do push this in pretty concentrated. Okay, so now I'm done blending everything in, and I really think everything's sitting really well with each other. Like I don't feel like my foundation moved around underneath any of this, and the concealer and the contour are sitting pretty well. So the next thing I purchased was the new Anastasia Beverly Hills loose setting powder, and I picked this up in the shade Banana. I honestly really like the packaging. It has like a soft matte lid, and then on the inside, I just opened it, there is a sifter, and I think it's like a really good size. Like it's a pretty big container. So pick the powder up with my same beauty blender, and I'm just going to work this underneath there. Okay, that's good. I was worried that it would kind of sit, but it looks like it's like pressing into the skin really good. Like I'm not even putting that much pressure on it. Like I do kind of want to bake a little bit, but it's like mixing into my skin really well. It's a really nice shade too. Left is the powder applied. It does look pretty light, and I hopefully it like lightens up. So while that's baking, I'm going to start working on the eyes. I did pick up another brand new product to me. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyeshadow Primer. It comes in a little squeezy tube like this, and I haven't used like an eye primer in a really long time, and the only reason I purchased one is because I've been noticing my eyeshadows just like crumbling and like creasing during like these hot summer days. So I heard a lot of people like complimenting it, so I wanted to give it a try. And it's very liquidy and it's really light, and I think it only comes in one shade. I'm just gonna press that on, and I think I'm gonna use a more of like a defining brush. So I'm gonna use a Morphe MB16, and I'm just gonna use that brush to kind of place the primer because it is really pigmented. And I'm sure she did like a lighter shade so that like, because all of her colorful eyeshadow palettes she's been releasing, so that you can get that full opacity. Okay, so this is the eyeshadow base put on. It doesn't feel tacky. It actually has kind of like a almost like powdery feel, so I think it did self-set a little bit. And for my eyeshadow today, I am going to go in with the Riviera palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is, I want to say, a newer palette, but she releases palettes like so fast that it's hard to keep up. I mean, she just announced the Jackie Aina collab with them, and I'm like really excited to buy it. But I'm gonna work in Coastline right here. I'm gonna buff that into my crease like pretty high. So I'm working the shadow in like my crease and then also bringing it in to my inner crease as well, just to give my eyes more of like, I want them to look a little bit more sultry and sunk in a little bit, I guess. Again, I'm gonna go back in with that Morphe brush, the MB16 that I used to apply the primer, and go into the shade Seashells right here, this beautiful blue shade. And I'm going to pack that onto my lid. Oh, that's so vibrant. And I'm gonna pack that like all the way through. And I was watching I Love Sarai's video, and she was saying how you can kind of do like more of a subtle cut crease with just shadow if you start working the shadow around the eyelid where you would want the cut crease, so it's not as like harsh as a cut crease, but you still get that definition. So as you can see, like I'm applying the shadow like really close to my crease and kind of giving the appearance of a cut crease without like having to put on concealer and stuff. I'm gonna drag the shadow out pretty far into like the outer part. I am gonna deepen this up a little bit, but right now I want to kind of give like that rounded appearance to the eyes. A little bit more domed and thinner, and I'm gonna work that into the shade Canes right here, or Con, I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna work that into this purple shade, and I'm just lightly going to start like outlining like where that pink and blue meet with this purple. And it's like I'm doing such like light motions because I don't want this to be like a harsh line. I just want it to be a little bit more of like, I guess like add a little bit more dimension. And I'm going to pack this onto the outer lid a little bit as well, and then lightly start just dragging that all the way across. Once I have most of that applied, I'm going to go back into the first brush that I used to apply Coastline with. And without adding any additional product, I'm really lightly just going to buff around the edges of that purple, just to again make it seem like less like harsh, and to diffuse all the colors into one another, at least in this crease, because I don't want you to see where anything starts and ends, because I'm just not about like those harsh like edgy looks. I like everything to be a little bit more soft and seamless. Okay, at this point I'm going to dust off all of the bake. So I know that a lot of people don't like to powder their face because they want to see the longevity of a foundation, but in all fairness, I would powder my face like whether it was a long wearing foundation or not. So I'm just going to really lightly do that. I'm going to use the Fit Me powder by Maybelline in the shade 310 with a really large brush, just so I can get like a pretty soft application. And I'm just going to dust this around my face. I like doing this step because I feel like it kind of helps mesh everything together. So another new product that I have that I'm going to be testing out in today's video is the Fenty Beauty eyeliner. It's a felt tip liner. I bought this because of Tati, or Glam Life Guru, and she said it was like really like one of her favorites, so that's why I wanted to try it out. And I'm just going to create like a really thin line. So I'm gonna see if I can do that with this one. So I really like this eyeliner. I feel like it was pretty easy to use, and it's really black and really matte. I accidentally created a thicker wing than I wanted to, but I feel like you could get a really thin wing with this. Yeah, I'm gonna play around with it a little bit more, but so far I really like it. So I did just pop on mascara and lashes off camera. These lashes are House of Lashes Smoky Muse lashes. And now I'm just gonna finish off the rest of my face. When I do more of a colorful look like this, I do like to keep the lower lash line pretty bare, just so that like the drama just stays on like the top of my lid. So now I'm going to move on to the rest of my face. And I do actually have another product that is new to me that I did buy a while ago to do more review videos. But I don't know, like I was so underwhelmed by the collection that I feel like I just didn't want to do it. But I am going to use it now. And it is the Aladdin collection from MAC. And this is called a powder blush. And it is in the shade Your Wish Is My Command. So I loved the packaging for this. I was, again, really underwhelmed by the collection because I felt like it could have been so much more for Princess Jasmine. But like I could probably do a whole video on how disappointed I was in that movie. And I probably will, like along with like the products that I did purchase from this collection, because I just was so underwhelmed. Anyways, I am going to use this powder blush, which is, I think more so is a bronzer, with my Morphe Y11 brush, and I'm just going to hit this on everywhere that I did apply my cream contour. So pulling a little bit more red on my skin, but I mean it does bring definition to my face. I'm going in with a pretty cool toned blush to kind of match the eyes, and I am going in with the Kylie blush in Baddie on the Block. It's more of a really cool toned pink. I bought it as a recommendation from Desi Perkins, and I do like it. It's not as like, I don't know, it's not as pigmented, but it does give like a really good like sheen to the skin. And then I'm going to go in with another Anastasia Beverly Hills product, and this is Anastasia X Amrezy highlighter. I've never used this before. I'm actually borrowing my sister's just because I wanted to try and do like a mostly Anastasia like products. So I'm gonna use this with a Luxie 250 large eyeshadow blending brush. I wanted to use this just because I've seen a lot of people pack this on with like a really detailed brush instead of like a fan brush. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty. End off the look with my lips, and I'm gonna first go in with the Kylie lip liner. And this is in the shade, I believe, Iced Latte. I'm gonna outline my lips and fill them in slightly. Okay, once that outlining is done, I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick in the shade Staunch. This has been one of my go-to nudes lately. This lip combination has been one that I've been using a lot. And that, you guys, completes this makeup look as well as this review of the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Foundation. I am going to do more of a wear test, and I will update you guys on Instagram. So if you are not following me already, make sure to do. It is @RabsBeauty. And when I'll update you guys on how this foundation wears and everything. But as of right now, I'm like looking, and I do really like it. I feel like the foundation isn't like too like overbearing, so I feel like it is great for like almost everyday wear. And I'm sure that you can build this up to a little bit more full coverage, but I don't think that this is like, I think this would be more of a medium coverage foundation. And yeah, besides that, I feel like everything wore really nice on top of it. I am still a little bit like iffy on the setting powder. I will probably do a video reviewing this against the Fenty powder and seeing how they work, because I do think that this is very like of a different consistency. Like it reminds me of atta, which is like I think gram flour. It really reminds me of that. It's not as like, it doesn't feel as like finely milled as like another powder, and I feel like everything kind of sticks together a little bit. Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and have a wonderful, beautiful day. Bye!